Here's an important question. How many hours a day do you spend on your phone? I'm not being hypocritical here. I'm as guilty as anyone. Is it actually Facebook's fault that we're spending so much time on the site and willingly disclose all of our personal information? Or are we actually to blame for allowing Facebook and the rest of the internet to control our lives? Did we let that happen? Just a small history lesson. The internet was originally created by scientists to facilitate in the exchange of information and ideas. That was long before Facebook, Twitter, even AOL. This was like the original intent of the internet, was just to share information and ideas. Social media is just the evolution of that, allowing the general public to share information and ideas. So where did things go wrong? I think the answer isn't as simple as some claim it is. Some time ago, we forgot that it's okay to have different opinions and ideas as somebody else. Social media has conditioned us to believe our opinion is the only one that matters. Social media gives everybody a voice, and everybody thinks their voice needs to be heard. And when we see an opinion that is different from our own, we are basically conditioned to unfriend, unfollow, block, report, and sometimes even threaten. And this is not a new problem specific to the internet. For as long as humans have been around, we have found reasons to disagree, discriminate, argue, and fight. This is nothing new. People used to live in much smaller communities and social circles than we do now. So it's only natural for everybody to surround themselves with like-minded people, people that we get along with, that we agree with. It was a lot easier to do that pre-internet, and before the information age, it was really easy to ignore somebody that you didn't agree with. Keyword there is ignore. But that's the problem. Nobody wants to exchange information or ideas anymore. And by exchange, I mean incorporating other information into what you already know. Not disregarding everything you know and totally believing somebody else. You have this information from somebody else. You have this information that you already knew. Is there a way that they both can coexist? Basically learning more than what you already knew before. Basically the whole reason science exists. And nowadays, people just want to spread their ideas and shun the rest. I mean, think for yourself, and you gotta understand that there are things out there that you don't know. You have to know that there are things that you don't know. And there are many people on this earth that live completely different lives than you, and they think completely differently than you. The more that you share your ideas on and off the internet, the more likely you are going to find people to disagree with. The worst of these people are Karens and trolls. Karens would be offline, trolls are online. Here's an example from my own life. Ever yelled at a cashier? Ever seen someone yell at a cashier? Narrow-minded, self-absorbed, and always right? Right? The customer is always right. Not anymore. You are not right. It is not my fault you brought an expired coupon. That has nothing to do with me. I don't set the prices either, and I get paid minimum wage to listen to you yell at me. Be nice to retail employees. All right, rant over. I need to just focus. All right. Okay. Here's the same example on the internet. Have you ever disagreed with who someone voted for and had to tell them about it? Were you on the other side of some social issue and you had to tell someone about it? Have you ever had to explain your conspiracy theory to someone that shared some scientific discovery or just talked about science in general, claiming that you are right and no amount of actual scientific evidence can prove you wrong? These are the trolls of the internet, which is the exact same as all the Karens of the rest of the world. There is no difference. And in both of our examples, they play out the same. The Karen is asked to leave the store for causing a scene, and she claims discrimination. That is her worldview being opposed right now by sane, rational people. And then we have the troll that gets their account suspended for harassment or spreading false information. And they blame the site for favoritism and censorship. Their opinion is the only one that matters, and they blame everyone else for their problems. The Karens and the trolls fail to see why they're at fault here, and will therefore always look down on those that think differently than them. The parts of your life that you share on social media are used by those sites for a lot more than you might think. They're used for the ads that you see, pages and the memes that you see, videos, group suggestions, even in what order you see all of your friends' posts, and if you see any friends' posts at all. Pretty soon, all you see on all of your social media accounts is the bubble that they've created for you. This becomes your new reality, and anyone else with a different bubble and different reality is wrong. This is the mindset that people have, or at least the ones that get the most attention, and it's just completely wrong. This becomes a much more serious problem when those kind of people that think their own bubble is the only one that exists are policymakers and lawmakers that affect millions of lives. This is how riots start. This is how elections are persuaded. This is how social injustice issues continue to go on year after year after year, is because everyone lives in their own bubble, regardless if you are offline or online, and when those people that think that way make the laws that govern all of us, then there's always going to be problems. For pretty much all of us, myself included, we're not aware, or we have not been aware, of how much social media has affected our own personality over time. It works the same as when you see a commercial on TV over and over and over again. That unconsciously affects how you think. Even if you claim that you don't really pay attention to commercials or you don't really pay attention to ads, it's not just the ads, it's the entire internet. It affects everybody. We just need to remember that social media is a tool, just as the internet was conceived as a tool. Now this new social media needs to be used the same way. We as a society need to learn how to use social media properly and responsibly. So the next time you see someone post something that you don't agree with, don't get mad at them. Don't unfriend them. Don't block them. Don't report them. Don't threaten them. Talk to them. Listen to them. Try and understand them. They have a different opinion than you. You don't have to completely ignore yours, but just understand why they have their opinion. And you don't need to do this with everybody, okay? The more that we share information, just share it. I think the better off that we're going to be. Take care.